Hello, everyone. It's Bernie Strom, and I'm starting a little early today to get a few ground rules set up. The game won't start for another 10 minutes, but I thought I would go over a few things that we are doing here in the game, and hopefully that if anyone is watching or going to begin to watch here shortly, we will be able to know why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. First off, I'm going to let Action PC Baseball do the narration and the play-by-play of the game rather than myself for a couple of reasons. First of all, this is my first live broadcast, so quite frankly, I'm not even sure how good I'm going to do. And I need to concentrate on a couple of things that I'm going to tell you about here. While Action PC Baseball is doing the play-by-play, I'm going to be doing the color commentary, commenting on the different players in the game. I just started dead ball era baseball and didn't know very much about it before watching Steve Tate and Beatles play their games on YouTube. Anyway, the reason I started to play is because I found it interesting. And Beatles suggested I start with the 1912 replay, and the Boston Red Sox won the World Series in 1912, so I really had no problem with doing that. So here we are. The play-by-play is going to be done by Action PC Baseball, and I'm going to concentrate on doing some color commentary. And right now we got about 8 minutes to kill before the game starts. One of the things I want to talk about, I'm reading a book here, Opening Fenway Park with Style, the world champion 1912 Red Sox. And in it, they have a description of this game on April 20th, 1912. And I just think, for the record, before we start the game, I'm going to read what this is. And it will be online for anybody who sees it from now on. On April 20th, at last, Fenway had its regular season opener, though with the postponements, it became an understated one. This game, of course, was scheduled for the 18th and 19th, but bad weather postponed it. There was no parade, no flag raising, and no far-famed letter carrier band was unable to make it. Mayor John Honey Fitzgerald, who was JFK's grandfather, threw out the first pitch, but Boston's modest chief executive pulled off this feat so quietly that few, excepting those within closest proximity, knew that this was an important duty that had been transacted. There was no possibility of a home run being hit in the park in the first game, and that's because so many fans turned out that there was standing room in the outfield, and it was a common practice in those days. And the managers agreed that any ball hit into the outfield past the ropes into the crowd would be deemed a double. There was an ominous start to the game as Buck O'Brien let New York score 3 times in the top of the first, and the Highlanders held a 5-1 lead after 3. You'll see that some people call this team the Yankees. Some people call them the Highlanders. They became the Yankees officially in 1913. That's just me. That doesn't what it says in the book. Anyway, the Sox loaded the bases in the top of the fourth, pinch hitting for O'Brien. Olaf Hendrickson drew a walk to force in a run. A fielder's choice scored another run, and a hit by Yerkes, a third, one of the 5 hits he had in the game, made it. Excuse me. What does it say here? One of the 5 hits he's had in the game. By the end of 6, it was 5-5. After 8, it was 6-6. Hall pitched 7 innings in relief, allowing only 3 hits. The game went into extra innings, and with darkness coming in, the 11th was sure to be the last inning. The first game at Fenway might have ended in a tie. It was 6:25 when Yerkes reached first as the New York third baseman Dolan committed 2 errors on the same play, one while fielding, the other on the throw. another gift, a pass ball, moved him to third base. Then Speaker scorched one between short and third to win the game 7-6. Yerkes had scored 3 of the 7 runs. Writing in the next day's Globe, Tim Murnane said that the ground rules had made doubles of 3 Red Sox hits, which might otherwise have been Fenway Park's first home run or at least a triple. The overflow crowd of perhaps 27,000, the Globe put the figure at 24,000, was the largest ever to see baseball in Boston. Anyway, that was a description of the first game. And in 5 minutes, we're going to start our replay here. And while we've got you here, let's go over the starting lineups before we go down to the field. We got, for the Red Sox, Hooper playing right field, batting first for the Red Sox. Yerkes playing second base, batting second. Tris Speaker in center field, batting third. Stahl batting fourth at first. He's also the manager of the team. Gardner at third base, batting fifth. Lewis in left field, batting sixth. Wagner batting seventh at short. Nunamaker catching, batting eighth. And O'Brien pitching, batting ninth. Let's go over here to the Yankees lineup here. And we've got Walter leading off in right field, batting first. Daniels in center field, batting second. Hartzell batting third at short. Zinn in left field, batting fourth. Chase at first base, batting fifth. Gardner at second base, batting sixth. Dolan at third base, batting seventh. Street catching, batting eighth. Caldwell pitching and batting ninth. So in a couple of minutes, we will go down to the field. O'Brien actually started the game, as I mentioned earlier, for the Red Sox, and he's going to start this game. I let the AI pick the lineups since, quite frankly, I'm not sure what I'm doing with these games, and I'm not sure that as-played lineups make any sense in 1912. So I'm going to play them as you see them here. And let's go down to the field for the national anthem. Well, I'm going to...
Pitching for Boston, Buck O'Brien.
I'm going to apologize in advance if I step over the play-by-play announcer. I'm not that familiar with working with another man here in the booth, but anyway, as we approach 7 o'clock, let's go down and start the game.
Play ball!
Welcome to Fenway Park, where it's New York against Boston. Ray Caldwell will start for New York. He's made 1 start on the year and is 0-1 with an earned run average of 12.00. His second start against Boston, he's 0-1 with a 12.00 earned run average against Boston. Opposed by Buck O'Brien for Boston. He's made 1 start on the year and is 0-1 with an earned run average of 2.25. His second start against New York, he's 0-1 with a 2.25 earned run average against New York. It's 51 degrees. Wind speed 4 miles per hour. Wolter digs in against O'Brien. The 0-2 pitch. Wolter hits a frozen rope to right, and Hooper will make the catch. Hitting second, here's Daniels. 0-1 count. Daniels blasts a line drive to left center. It's a base hit.
And there's Daniels.
Lewis tosses it back in, and he missed the cutoff. but Daniels holds.
There you go. Daniels has the first hit in our virtual Fenway Park. Something about Daniels. He had made his major league debut on June 25th, 1910, here with New York, and he played for the New York Highlanders Yankees from 1910 to 1913. His career ended in 1914 with the Cincinnati Reds.
Hartzell steps in against O'Brien. Runner on first. The first pitch to Hartzell. Daniels is running. The pitch is a strike. Nunemaker fires down to second. Daniels slides. Wagner tags him. Safe. First steal for Daniels.
And there you go. You got the first steal at Fenway Park. Daniels now holds 2 records.
Runner on second. The 0-1 offering from O'Brien. Way outside. Wild pitch. Daniels to third. Runner on third. O'Brien sets. 1-1 count. O'Brien throws. Hartzell swings. He hits a rope toward right center. Falling. Hooper coming on. It falls in for a base hit. A one-hopper. Daniels scores. Hooper fires it back in.
Well, there you go. Just like in real life, the New York Highlanders take a lead on the Boston Red Sox in the first inning in brand new Fenway Park.
Runner on first. The first pitch to Zinn. Hartzell is going for second. The pitch is a strike. Nunemaker fires down to second. It'll be close. Wagner slaps the tag on him. He is out.
Well, now we have the first runner thrown out. Zinn, who's at the plate, made his major league debut on September 11th, 1911 through New York, and he played 4 years. He played 2 years with the Highlanders, 11 and 12. He played a year with the Braves, and he played a year with Baltimore, and then he retired. Here's the pitch.
O'Brien toes the rubber. 0-1 count. Zinn cuts. Hard grounder to Yerkes at second. To Stahl at first to retire the side. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. After 1/2 inning. New York 1, Boston coming to bat. Pitching for New York, Ray Caldwell. Hooper will lead off the inning. The 1-1 pitch. Fly ball to Daniels. He's under it. And he puts it away for the out.
Yerkes, who I never heard of until I started to watch Beatles play, seems to be a really good ball player on this team. He had made his major league debut in 1909. He played for 7 years and ended his career with the Chicago Cubs. He had a grand total of 6 home runs in his career.
The second baseman, Yerkes steps in. Caldwell toes the rubber. 0-1 count.
And he gets the first Red Sox hit.
Yerkes hits a rope up the middle. Base hit. Daniels tosses it back in. The Gray Eagle steps in. Stahl is waiting to hit. Runner on first. Caldwell is set. Caldwell with the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strikeout. Hitting fourth, here's Stahl. Runner on first. First offering from Caldwell. Stahl hits a frozen rope along the first base line. Fair ball. He'll have extra bases. It's in the corner. It rolls to the wall. Yerkes scores. Stahl rounds second. Stahl with a standing triple.
Well, there we go. That's the first play that could not have happened in real life, since that would have been in the crowd and it would have been a double. But in my game, it's a triple, and we've tied the game at 1.
Gardner now batting. Runner on third. Caldwell with the 3-1. Gardner hits a line drive between third and short. It's a base hit. Stahl scores. Zinn fires it back in.
Stahl, who puts the Red Sox ahead 2-1, is the manager of the team. Let's see what it says about him here. Stahl was playing a long time. He started to play for the Boston Americans in 1903, and he retires as a player in 1913 next year. He was regarded as a good fielder and average hitter, although he did lead all hitters in the American League in home runs with 10 in 1910. Okay, next batter, Lewis.
The left fielder, Lewis, steps in. Runner on first. Caldwell gets the sign from Street. The 2-1 pitch. Curveball. High fly. Deep to right center. Way back. It's got a chance to go. Daniels and Wolter going back. Daniels back on the track. At the wall. Off the wall. Gardner rounds third. Gardner scores.
Well, there you go. That would have been a double in real life. I'd like to thank everybody for being here. Dwayne Martz, Beatles is here. And JT 2.0, thank you very much for joining me tonight. I hope you'll bear with me as I do my first live broadcast. I've only been doing this for about 7 weeks. When I would do it on recording, if I screwed up, I could always erase it and do it again, but can't erase it live. Anyway, the Red Sox now take a 3-1 lead, and Wagner's coming up.
Hitting seventh, here's Wagner. Runner on second. Caldwell with the 0-2. Wagner hits a deep fly towards right. Wolter drifting back. Under it. And makes the catch for out number 3. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors. After 1. Boston 3, New York 1.
As we enter this game, New York is 1-4, which was what their record was when they played this game back in 1912. The Red Sox are 3-2. That is 1 game worse than they were in real life. They were 4-1 when this game was played. Anyway, here we are in the top of the second inning. We've had a ball go off the wall, which wouldn't have happened because that crowd would have been there. And we've had a triple. And that wouldn't have happened the first game either because of that crowd in the outfield. Anyway, Chase is due up. Here we go. Start of the second inning.
Chase will lead off the inning. O'Brien stares in. 0-1 count. Chase hits a grounder back up the middle. Wagner dives to his left. Fields it. Throws to first. Out.
Gardner's due up.
Gardner steps in against O'Brien. O'Brien with the 0-1. Gardner hits it hard on the ground towards second. He knocks it down. To stall at first to retire Gardner.
And now Dolan's due up.
Dolan steps in against O'Brien. 2 balls, 1 strike. Dolan hits a ground ball back up the middle. Yerkes goes to his right. Fields it. To stall at first. Out. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 1.5. Boston 3, New York 1.
Here we go to the bottom of the second inning. It'll be Nunamaker, O'Brien, and Hooper due up in this inning. Let me just glance at the comments here. See if there's anything I've done. I'm doing a good job. Well, I'm stuttering a little, but other than that, I think I'm doing okay. Thanks, Beatles. Anyway, let's start the bottom of the inning. Nunamaker is facing Caldwell.
Nunamaker will bat first this inning. Caldwell with the 1-2. Smashed on the ground down the first base line. Chase dives to his left. Fields it. He underhands to Caldwell covering. He's out. Caldwell appears to be hurt, but he'll stay in the game.
Due up is O'Brien. O'Brien had a very short career. He pitched for 1911, 12, and 13 with the Red Sox. He also pitched with the Chicago White Sox in 1913. He had a career record of 29 and 25. And he's from Brockton, Massachusetts. That's where he was born. That's what it says here. Anyway, he started the first game at Fenway Park, and he's started this one. And there's my sign telling me that the pitcher's about to hit.
The pitcher, O'Brien, steps in. The 3-1 pitch. At the shoulders.
Take your base.
Buck draws the walk.
Well, it's never good to walk the opposing pitcher. And the New York Highlanders weren't a very good team in 1912, as everyone probably knows, and the Red Sox won the World Series. So what more do you expect here is Hooper comes up. You know, one thing I wanted to mention, we saw in the last inning a ball off the center field wall. That's the first time since I started this replay 5 days ago that I saw a ball hit a wall. And I've yet to see one go over the wall. So I'm looking forward to that when that happens. Here's the first pitch to Hooper.
Hooper faces Caldwell. Runner on first. 1-1 count. Hammered. To right. Base hit. O'Brien moves to third. Wolter tosses it back in.
Well, the Red Sox have another rally going. 1 out, 2 on.
Yerkes to face Caldwell. Yerkes singled and scored in the first. Men on first and third. The 2-1. Cutter. Yerkes swings. Here's a hard hit grounder between third and short. Hartzell goes to his right. Fields it. O'Brien is going home. Fires to second for 1. Throws to first. Double play.
Well, they didn't score that time. Top of the third.
Street will start the inning. Caldwell is on deck. 3 balls, 0 strikes. Split finger.
Ball
Low.
4. Take your
Street
base.
was taking all the way. And Street draws the walk. Caldwell steps in against O'Brien. Runner on first. The 0-2 pitch. Caldwell rips a line drive towards second. And Yerkes hauls it in.
One away, runner on first.
Wolter steps in. Runner on first. 1 ball, 2 strikes. O'Brien deals. Wolter drills a base hit between third and short. Street to second. Lewis retrieves it and fires in.
Runners on first and second, 1 out.
Daniels faces O'Brien. Daniels singled and scored in the first. Runners on first and second. O'Brien gets the sign. The 0-1 pitch. Daniels swings. High chopper to short. Wagner fields it. He'll have to go to first. Out. Street goes to third. Wolter goes to second.
And there's 2 away.
The shortstop, Hartzell, steps in. Hartzell knocked in a run with a single in the first. Zinn is on deck if he gets on. Runners on second and third. The 0-2. Breaking ball. Hartzell hits a rope between third and short. Base hit. Street scores. Wolter takes a look at home. He's heading for home. Lewis won't make a throw. Wolter scores. Single for Hartzell.
And there you go. We've tied the game. It's now tied at 3. What do we have on Zinn? Zinn played his first game September 11th. We told you that earlier. 1912. He played 106 games for the Highlanders with 105 hits and 6 home runs, 4th in the American League, and 55 runs batted in. Here we go.
Zinn steps in against O'Brien. Runner on first. The first pitch to Zinn. Changeup. Hartzell is going. The pitch is a ball. Nunemaker fires down to second. Safe. First steal for Hartzell.
Runner on second, 2 away.
Man on second. 1-0 from Buck O'Brien. Zinn swings. Hard grounder to Stahl at first. He'll step on it himself. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. After 2.5. New York 3, Boston 3.
Well, like the original game at Fenway Park, it is tied up going into the middle innings. Tris Speaker, which is one of the few players I knew anything about before I started here, is going to lead off. Tris Speaker has quite a resume. 3-time world champion. He was the AL MVP here in 1912. He was the batting champion in 1916. He led the American League in home runs in 1912. In 1923, he was the RBI leader. And he is a member of both the Boston Red Sox and the Cleveland Indians Hall of Fame.
Speaker will lead off the inning. Speaker struck out in the first. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hard on the ground to Dolan at third. Plenty of time. Long throw to first. Out.
Stahl is coming up. Stahl sat out the 1911 season instead of opting to return to his native Illinois, where he took a position as a bank manager for a firm on the south side of Chicago. He was offered the position as player manager of the Red Sox in 1912, and that's what he's doing here.
Stahl faces Caldwell. Stahl drove in a run with a triple and scored in the first. The 2-0 pitch. Stahl hits a deep fly ball down the left field line. Chasing back is Zinn, waiting for it, and catches it for the out.
I'm still waiting for my first ball to be hit over a wall. Gardner's due up. Let's see what we have on Larry Gardner. Gardner played a key role on the pennant-winning 1920 Indians. Well, that's going to be in a few years from now. His best season was 1921 when he achieved a career high in batting average, 319, RBIs 120, and scored 101 runs on 187 hits. However, in 1912, he batted 315, as you can see, with 3 home runs, 86 RBIs. Let's see what he can do.
Gardner now batting .500 against right-handers. Gardner drove in a run with a single and scored his last try. Caldwell looking into street. Caldwell with the 2-0. Gardner cuts. He hits a deep fly ball to right. Chasing back is Wilder. He camps under it and makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 3 complete. New York 3, Boston 3.
We head to the top of the 4th.
Chase will get this inning started. 2-1 count. Chase hits a deep fly ball toward right center. Speaker drifting back. He's under it and catches it, and Chase is retired. The second baseman, Gardner, steps in. 0 balls, 1 strike. Gardner swings. Shallow fly to left center. Speaker giving chase. Speaker comes in. He's under it and catches it. 2 down.
O'Brien's got the makings of a easy inning here if he can get Dolan out.
Dolan now in the batter's box. O'Brien toes the rubber. O'Brien with the first pitch. Dolan hits it on the ground between third and short. Wagner moves to his right. Backhands it. Throws across the infield. For the out. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 3.5. New York 3, Boston 3.
Now we head to the bottom of the 4th. Lewis is due up. Lewis became the Red Sox starting left fielder in 1910. Harry Hooper, who had played left field for the Red Sox, became the right fielder. Along with Hooper and center fielder Tris Speaker, Lewis played in the golden outfield from 1910 to 1915. Here we go.
Lewis will start the inning. Lewis drove in a run with a double in the first. Caldwell is ready. Caldwell with the first pitch. Lewis swings. He drills a single between first and second. Walter fires it back in.
Due up is Wagner. Wagner was considered to be a valuable infielder while playing with the Red Sox. He was reputed to have an exceptionally powerful and accurate throw. He was also known to block the base path with exceptionally big feet. Can't believe I'm reading that. Anyway, with 101 career stolen bases for the Red Sox, Wagner ranks 3rd in team history. Here we go.
Wagner digs in against Caldwell. Runner on first. Caldwell toes the rubber. 1-2 count. Heine swings. It's a rifle shot to right center. Wolter hustling over. He cuts it off. Lewis goes to third. Wagner rounding first. Wagner is going to second. Here comes the throw from Wolter. Wagner with a head first slide. Safe. Double.
And here we go. We've got a rally going. Runners on second and third. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. None of makers due up. And here's a trivia answer for you. He's one of several catchers who holds the major league record for runners thrown out in an inning. While playing for the New York Yankees in a couple of years, 1914, Nonamaker threw out 3 base runners at second base in 1 inning against the opposing Detroit Tigers.
Nunemaker now batting. Men on second and third. Caldwell stares in. Caldwell with the 2-0. Breaking ball. Nunemaker swings. Here's a hard hit grounder hugging the third base line. Dolan to his right. Backhands it behind the bag. Lewis is trying to score. Dolan throws to first. Low throw. Chase knocks it down. Out. Lewis scores. Wagner goes to third.
Well, there's 1 out, runner on third. The pitcher O'Brien's up. As I glance down at this 138 hitter. Oh boy, does this, I don't know if they did this much. They're playing in, but let's see what a squeeze does here in dead ball baseball. Sorry about that. I have that on because sometimes I forget.
O'Brien now batting. O'Brien walked in the second. Runner on third. Corners are in. Caldwell kicks and throws. O'Brien looking to bunt. Squeezes on.
Pummel!
Fouled back.
Well, now that they know it's coming.
Infield in at the corners. Man on third. Infield in at the corners. Caldwell sets. 0-2 count. O'Brien swings. Hard grounder to Dolan at third. Throws to first for the out. Wagner holds at third.
I think we're going to have to get this run home a different way.
Hooper steps in against Caldwell. Runner on third. Caldwell sets. The 3-1 pitch. High. That will be ball 4.
Yerkes is due up. Before he bats, I'm going to glance over to the comments. You know, doing this live isn't as easy as it is doing it on a recording. As I say hello to Steve Tate. Thank you for checking in, Steve. Appreciate it. Anyway, as I'm glancing down, I think I've seen everybody. My pal Al, Red Sox fan, is here. If you're still here, how you doing, Al? Okay. As I glance on, no one's asking me any questions, and thank goodness, because quite frankly, slightly overwhelmed doing this live. But it is fun. Yerkes is due up. Yerkes played in the first game in Boston's Fenway Park, April 20th, 1912, during which he had 5 hits, including 2 doubles. And as I said earlier, you could only hit doubles in this game because of the crowd that you don't see in the outfield on this photo. Here it goes.
Yerkes steps in against Caldwell. Runners on first and third. Caldwell checks the runner at first. The 1-2 pitch. Yerkes hits a grounder between third and short. Hartzell goes to his right. Gathers it in. Fires to second. To end the inning. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. After 4. Boston 4, New York 3.
Well, the Red Sox have taken the lead. Let's see if they can hold it here in the top of the 5th.
Street will bat first this inning. Street drew a walk and scored in the third. 1-1 from O'Brien. Smashed on the ground. Up the middle. Street with a hit. And it gets past Speaker. It goes all the way to the wall. Street ends up at second.
Well, it couldn't have gone to the wall. It would have had to go in the crowd, but being at second is the right call. Caldwell due up. What do we have here on Caldwell? Well, I don't have anything on him for some reason. Okay, let's go.
The pitcher, Caldwell, steps in. Man on second. O'Brien has the sign. The first pitch to Caldwell. He rips. Grounded between third and short. Base hit. Street rounds third. He's heading for home. There won't be a throw from Lewis. Street scores. Single.
Well, that's what I get for not having anything on Caldwell. He ties the game. It's now 4-4. Wolters due up.
Wolter steps in against O'Brien. Wolter singled and scored his last trip. Daniels is up next. Runner on first. The first pitch to Wolter. Caldwell is going for second. The pitch is over for a strike. Nunemaker fires down to second. Safe. First steal for Caldwell.
Okay, let's go. I need to pay more attention to those runners. Dead ball baseball appears to steal a lot more than it does in the 1950s.
Man on second. The 0-1 from O'Brien. Wolter swings. He lines a single toward left center. Lewis fires it back in.
Well, at least we still have a tie score. Daniels is due up. Runners on first and third for the Highlanders. Here in the top of the 5th inning, there's still nobody out. As far as Daniels goes, let's see what we have on him. Daniels' first 4 years were with the New York club in the American League called the Highlanders through 1912 and the Yankees in 1913. Daniels played well his first 3 seasons, hitting .253, .286, and .274. However, in 1913, which is next year, his batting average dipped to .216, and he was traded to the Cincinnati Reds. Well, it's 1912, and he's up. He's got runners on first and third. There's nobody out.
Daniels steps in against O'Brien. Batting .200 with runners in scoring position. Runners on the corners. Daniels tries to bunt. The bunt is down towards third. Hauled in by Gardner. His only play is to first. He throws to Yerkes covering. Out. Wolter goes to second.
Well, I was lucky Caldwell didn't score, wasn't I? So bunting and base stealing I need to pay attention to. Well, with runners on second and third, I don't have to worry about that, I don't think. So here's the pitch.
Hartzell now batting. Hartzell knocked in a run with a single in the first, and drove in two with a single in the third. Two runners in scoring position. O'Brien with the 1-1. Hartzell cuts.
Foul tip.
Foul tip. Runners on second and third. 1-2 from Buck O'Brien. Hartzell swings. Hit hard on the ground to the mound. O'Brien fields it. Throws to first for the out.
Well, there I am. I'm lucky 2 times in a row. Let's see if I can be lucky 3 times in a row.
Zinn steps in against O'Brien. Runners on second and third. 2 balls, 1 strike. Ball away. Nunemaker misplayed it. That will be scored a passed ball. Caldwell scores. Wolter to third.
Well, that didn't work out too well.
Runner on third. O'Brien is set. O'Brien with the 3-1. Curve. Zinn swings. He grounds a single between first and second. Wolter scores. Hooper scoops it up and fires in.
Well, the Red Sox are now down 6-4 here in the top of the 5th inning. Chase is coming to bat, runner on first, and I'm going to start thinking about putting a new pitcher in.
The first baseman, Chase, steps in. Runner on first. O'Brien has the sign. 0-1 from Buck O'Brien. Ground ball to short. Picked up by Wagner. Throws to second. 3 out. 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error. After 4.5. New York 6, Boston 4.
Well, that's not how the script is supposed to go, but Tris Speaker's due up, and being a Hall of Fame player, maybe he'll get us going.
Speaker will bat first this inning. Let's get something started. Tries. Stahl is on deck. 1-2 count. Speaker hits a ground ball down the first base line. Chase moves to his left. Fields it. Steps on first for the out.
Stahl, the player manager, due up, who a year ago was working in a bank, I guess.
Stahl now batting. Stahl fly to left in the third. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Right at the knees. Caldwell gets the punch out.
And everything's left up to Larry Gardner here, the third baseman. Larry Gardner is a lifetime .289 hitter with 27 home runs in a lifetime, 3 of which were hit this year.
Gardner steps in against Caldwell. The 2-1 pitch. Gardner hits a ground ball between first and second. Gardner goes to his left. Fields it. To Chase at first for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 5 complete. New York 6, Boston 4.
Well, that went quick. Here we go in the top of the 6th inning. New York leading 6-4, 6-8-0 for the Highlanders, 4-7-1 for the Red Sox. O'Brien's got 62 pitches. He's looks pretty strong. Hopefully he can hold them the rest of the way. Here we go.
Gardner will start the inning. Gardner grounded out to second in the second, and fly to center in the fourth. 0-1 from O'Brien. Fastball. Gardner hits a ground ball towards first. He knocks it down. He'll take it to first himself.
One away.
The third baseman, Dolan, steps in. 3-0 from O'Brien. Down and outside. Dolan lays off the pitch. O'Brien issues a 1-out walk.
I don't know about you guys, but boy, I hate it when I see the third baseman Dolan steps in 3-0 from O'Brien, because you know he's going to walk. It's either 3-0 he walks or 0-2 he strikes out. Street is due up, runner on first, 1 out.
Street at the plate. Street singled and scored in the fifth. Runner on first. The 1-0 pitch. On the ground to Wagner at short. His only play is to first. Out. Dolan goes to second.
Here we go, 2 away. Caldwell up and a runner on second. Hopefully he won't get another hit.
The pitcher, Caldwell, steps in. Caldwell drove in a run with a single and scored in the fifth. Wolter is on deck if he gets on. Runner on second. O'Brien is set. O'Brien with the 3-1. Curveball. On the ground to Gardner at third. Throws to first to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 5.5. New York 6, Boston 4.
Well, here we go in the bottom of the sixth. We got 4 innings to get 3 runs and beat these guys. Lewis is due up. What does it say here about Lewis? It must say something else about Lewis. In 1913, Lewis batted .298 with no home runs. This is next year, of course. Babe Ruth made his major league debut on July 11th, 1914, and Lewis pinch hit for Ruth during the game. Well, there's another trivia question. Here we go.
Lewis will lead off the inning. 2 for 2 today. Lewis knocked in a run with a double in the first, and singled and scored in the fourth. The first pitch to Lewis. Lewis hits a line drive down the first base line. Fair ball. That will be extra bases. It gets to the wall. Lewis with a stand-up double.
Well, here we go. We got something going. A runner on second. Nobody out. Wagner is up.
Wagner steps in against Caldwell. Wagner flied to right in the first, and doubled in the fourth. Nunemaker is on deck. Runner on second. Caldwell has the sign. Caldwell with the 3-2. Up at eye level and inside. Ball 4.
Interesting predicament. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. 2 runs behind. 6th inning. Pitchers due up next. Well, I don't know if they do this in the dead ball era, but we're going to
Nunemaker
sacrifice
steps
Buck.
in against Caldwell. 400 with runners in scoring position. O'Brien is on deck. Men on first and second. Curveball. Nunemaker to bunt. Bunted back towards the mound. Caldwell charges. Fields it. His only play is to first. He fires to first. And Nunemaker is retired. Lewis moves to third. Wagner moves to second.
Now, this is where I'm at a disadvantage because I'm going to pinch hit for this guy. And I'm going to have to pick somebody. We're going to flip this over to the real stats so I can see what's going on. Here we go.
Runners on second and third. Caldwell gets the sign from Street. Caldwell with the 3-2. High and way outside. He'll take his base.
Well, we got the bases loaded. Hooper due up. I got to figure out who's going to pitch. In the meantime, let's see what Hooper can do.
Street out to visit Caldwell. The right fielder, Hooper steps in. Hooper flied out to center in the first. And walked in the fourth. Bases loaded. 0-1 from Ray Caldwell.
That looks good.
Hooper hits a line drive down the first base line. Fair ball. That will be extra bases. It's in the corner. Bounces to the wall. That will score everyone. Lewis scores. Wagner scores. Henriksen scores. Hooper flies around second. Hooper with a stand-up triple.
And New York is changing the pitchers.
Tommy Thompson is now pitching for New York, making his fourth appearance of the season.
You know, I want to mention again
Pitching
in
for
case
New York, Tommy Thompson.
I want to mention again in case no one knows or you missed it earlier. This outfield area had fans all around it during the game, and you couldn't hit a triple because anything into the crowd was a double. But there's our second double in the replay game. Yerkes is up. He was 5 for 5 in the original game, and in this game, he's 1 for 3.
Yerkes steps in against Thompson. Yerkes grounded out to short in the fourth. Speaker is on deck. Runner on third. 0-2 count. Yerkes swings. And misses. Thompson gets the strikeout.
2 away.
Speaker at the plate. Runner on third. 3 balls, 1 strike. Way outside and high. Ball 4.
Stahl's due up. Runners on first and third. We could sure use a couple of more runs.
Stahl now batting. Runners on the corners. Thompson keeps an eye on the runner at first. 0-2 count. The pitch to Stahl. He swings.
I'll take 1 run.
It's a blooper to center. Daniels coming in. It's a base hit. Hooper scores. Speaker to second. He's going for third. There won't be a throw from Daniels. Speaker goes to third. Single.
Well, that's more like it. It's 8-6. Runners on first and third. Gardner's up.
Gardner now at bat. Gardner drove in a run with a single and scored in the first. Flied out to right in the third. And grounded out to second in the fifth. Lewis is on deck if he reaches safely. Runners at the corners. 1-2 count. The pitch to Gardner. Gardner hits a shallow fly ball to right. Wolter is under it. And he makes the catch to retire the side. 4 runs, 3 hits, no errors. After 6 complete. Boston 8, New York 6.
Okay, so here we go. We are going to glance over the relief pitchers, and I don't have a lot to choose from. But there we go.
Ben Van Dyke is now pitching for Boston, making his second appearance of the season.
Here we go. Top of the 7th inning. We've got the lead, 8-6.
Wolter will bat first this inning. Wolter lined to right in the first. Singled and scored in the third. And singled and scored in the fifth. The 0-2 pitch. Wolter hits a blooper to short.
Well, that's
Wagner
not a
going
good
back.
start.
Speaker comes in. It drops in between them. Wolter with a base hit. Lewis fires it back in.
Here we go. Daniels is going to face Van Dyke.
Daniels at the plate. Hartzell is in the on-deck circle. Runner on first. Van Dyke checks first. 1-2 count. Wolter is going for second. The pitch is a strike. Strikeout. Nunemaker fires down to second. Wolter with a head-first dive. Wolter is safe on a close call. 2 steals for Wolter.
Runner on second and 1 out.
Hartzell steps in against Van Dyke. Runner on second. Ben gets the sign from Nunemaker. The 1-1 from Van Dyke. Fastball. Hartzell cuts. Grounder between first and second. Yerkes goes to his left. Fields it. The throw to first for the out. Wolter moves to third.
Yankees have the 7th runner, the Highlanders, on third base. There's 2 outs.
Zinn comes up against Van Dyke. Zinn drove in a run with a single in the fifth. Runner on third. Van Dyke has the sign. 0-2 count. Off-speed pitch. Zinn swings. And misses. And Zinn is out of here. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. After 6.5. Boston 8, New York 6.
Well, here we go. After 6.5, Red Sox lead 8-6. Red Sox 8-10-1. The Highlanders 6-9-0. We got 2.5 innings to go. Let's see what Lewis can do with Thompson.
Lewis will lead off the inning. 3 for 3 in the ball game. Lewis doubled and scored his last trip. 1-2 count. Lewis cuts. And misses. Strikeout. Wagner now up at the plate. Wagner walked and scored in the 6th. 1-0 count. Wagner hits a grounder to second. Fielded by Gardner. Throws to first for the out.
In our last chance here in the bottom of the seventh, Nonamaker, the catcher, the guy that holds the record among many other catchers, throwing out 3 runners in 1 inning.
Nonamaker steps in against Thompson. Thompson gets the sign from Street. The 1-1 pitch. Nonamaker hits a rope toward right center. Wolter on the run. He cuts it off. Nonamaker rounds first. He's going for 2. Here comes the throw from Wolter. Nonamaker with a head first slide. Safe. Double.
Well, there you go. Another decision to make. I think we're going to pinch hit.
Carrigan is now batting for Boston. Pinch hitting for Boston, Bill Carrigan. Carrigan will pinch hit. Hooper is up next if he gets on. Carrigan will be intentionally walked. As Thompson tosses 4 wide ones.
Okay, I'll take that.
Hooper to face Thompson. Hooper cleared the bases with a triple and scored in the 6th. First and second occupied. Thompson is in a jam. First pitch from Thompson. Harry rips. High chopper to second.
He's going to beat it out.
Gardner fumbles it. And he can't make a play. He let that ball play him. Hooper is safe. Gardner will be charged with an error.
Well, here we go. The base is loaded. Bottom of the 7th inning. Yerkes, who's 1 for 4 today, who got 5 hits in the real game. Maybe he can pick up a second one right now.
The second baseman, Yerkes, steps in. The sacks are full. 0-2 count. Thompson kicks and throws. Breaking ball. Yerkes swings. And comes up empty. 3 down. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error. After 7 complete. Boston 8, New York 6.
Okay, here we're going to the top of the 8th inning. Let's see who we're going to put in.
Ray Collins is now pitching for Boston, making his second appearance of the season. Chase will start the inning. 0 for 3 on the day. Chase grounded to short in the 5th. The 0-2 from Collins. On the outside half of the plate. Strikeout.
Gardner's up.
Gardner steps in against Collins. Gardner grounded out to first in the 6th. Collins sets. The 0-1 pitch. Gardner hits a fly ball to center. Speaker is under it. And he makes the catch for the out.
Red Sox are now 4 outs away from winning the opening day game at Fenway Park.
Dolan digs in against Collins. 2-2 count. Grease ball. Slapped on the ground. Right side of the infield. Fielded by Stahl. He flips to Collins covering. For the out. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 7.5. Boston 8, New York 6. Hippo Vaughn is now pitching for New York, making his third appearance of the season. Pitching for New York, Hippo Vaughn.
I love these nicknames. Vaughn's pitching to Speaker to lead off the bottom of the 8th.
Speaker will get this inning started. Speaker walked last time up. 3-1 count. Slow roller to Chase at first. He'll have to hurry. He throws to Vaughn covering. In time. To retire Speaker. Don't like that call.
Neither do I, but that's what it is. Okay, Stahl is up.
Stahl against Vaughn. Stahl knocked in a run with a triple and scored in the first. Fly to left in the third. Struck out in the fifth. And knocked in a run with a single last time up. Gardner is on deck. Vaughn with the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strikeout.
Here we go with Gardner. 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th.
Gardner against Vaughn. Gardner flied out to right his last trip. The 2-2 pitch. Gardner drives a deep fly ball to center. Daniels drifting back. He's waiting. And he puts it away for the out. Nothing across in the bottom of the 8th. 8 are in the books. Boston 8, New York 6.
Still haven't seen a ball go over a wall yet in the first week of the 1912 season. Anyway, here we are at the top of the 9th inning, 3 outs away from an opening day win to christen Fenway Park on April 20th, 1912. Collins is pitching to Street.
Street will lead off the inning. Coleman is up next. Collins is set. 2-2 count. Street swings. High fly to right. Not very deep. Hooper is under it. And makes the catch, and Street is retired.
2 outs to go. Lefty against lefty. Here we go. They're going to pinch hit.
Jack Martin is now batting for New York. Pinch hitting for New York, Jack Martin. Martin will pinch hit. Wolter is on deck. Collins with the 1-0. Martin hits a line drive towards left center. Speaker hustling over. He takes it on one hop. Martin rounding first. He's trying for 2. Speaker's throw. Martin hits the dirt. Safe. Double.
Okay, it's interesting now. Runner on second base, 1 out. That runner on second really doesn't mean anything. Let's see what happens with Walter. Well, they're going
Del
to pinch
Paddock
hit.
is now batting for New York. Pinch hitting for New York, Del Paddock. Paddock steps into pinch hit. Daniels is on deck. Runner on second. 2-0 count. Paddock hits a deep fly ball to left center field. Speaker drifts to his right. Going back. To the track. He gets under it. And he puts it away for the out. Martin holds up at second.
There we go. We got 1 out away from a win. Collins is going to face Daniels.
The center fielder, Daniels, steps in. Runner on second. First offering from Collins. Shallow fly ball down the right field line. Hooper is under it. And catches it to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. That wraps it up. Boston 8, New York 6.
Well, there we go. We win our first game at Fenway Park, just like the Red Sox did back then in 1912. Although it took the Red Sox 11 innings to do it originally, we were able to do it in 9. It was a good game. I'm not sure I would have the APC AI do the play-by-play again. We need a different voice, but it was interesting. I've got a lot to learn about dead ball baseball. I need to learn how to hold runners on. I need to learn when to bunt, and I need to learn the players so I know what I'm doing. Let's look at the box score.
The final score from Fenway Park: Boston 8, New York 6. Buck O'Brien is the winner. He is now 1-1 on the season. Ray Caldwell gets the loss. He is now 0-2. Ray Collins gets the save. Number 1. Time of the game: 2 hours, 1 minute.
And there we go. O'Brien's the winner. He's 1-1. Caldwell, like he said, is 0-2. The Red Sox were led by Hooper, who went 3 for 4. Anyway, let's see what else we have here. Bear with me a second. Anyway, that's it. Anyway, it was a good game. It was the first time I broadcast a game live and not on video. And I sort of liked it. I'm not sure what I'm doing, but I'm going to keep trying. So I want to thank everybody for joining in. I appreciate it. Hope to have another game soon on the channel. And that's about it. Have a nice evening. Stay safe.